All right, good morning, guys. Today's notes are going to be about converting fractions to decimals. So you kind of see I have it on my page here. The goal of all this is to check and see, is the fraction's denominator a factor of 100? Because if we can make a fraction be a hundredth, it makes a really easy decimal. So here are the common factors. We have 2, 5, 20, 50, 4, 10, and 25. They're not really in any kind of order there, but it kind of shows what you need to multiply to make those be a hundredth. So for example, if you had 2 over 4, we would say that 4 times 25 is 100. So then if 2 is my numerator, I would do 2 times 25 equals 50 over 100. And then 50 100ths would make the decimal be 50 hundredths, or 0.5 if you want to read it that way. So this is kind of what we're looking at for the notes here, is just kind of, can we turn a fraction into a hundredth? And so you kind of have a yes or no kind of statement here. If the answer is yes, we want to convert our fraction to 100. And so the example I gave was 3/5. So if I have 3/5, I check my chart here and I say fifths is a factor of 5 is a factor of 100 because I do 5 times 20 makes 100. So I use that times 20, and I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the factor. So I'm going to do 3 times 20 equals 60, 5 times 20 equals 100, and I have a new fraction that says 60 100ths. I then write that as a decimal, and that would be 60 100ths, right? As a 0.60 or 0.6. As a percentage, that would be 60%. Okay, and that's kind of the easiest way to turn a fraction into a percentage, into a decimal, is to make it be over a 100 fraction. Okay, so what if the answer is no? What if you try to simplify the fraction, but your fraction denominator is not a factor of 100? The example I gave is 6 over 30. As you can see, 30 is not a factor of 100. You can't multiply 30 times a whole number that gives you a 100. So you need to check is, can you simplify the fraction so the denominator is a factor of 100? That's kind of a question there. You want to see, can you do that? So for 6/30ths, I can simplify 6/30ths to be 2/10ths. And so if I make this be a tenth, I can know that 10 is a factor of 100. So then I can multiply 10 times 10 is 100, and 2 times 10 is 20. And that would give me 20 100ths. Okay, and then the last step is this. The last step is, what if you can't make your denominator into a hundredth or a factor of a number that'll be a factor of 100? So then the thing that we did today in class is we were drawing the benchmark fractions. So you can always just draw it out. So for example, I have 2/7, and I can draw 1/7 2 times, and I know that 1/7 is equal to 14.2%. And so if I have two 14.2%, I would add those two numbers up, and I would have 28.4%, which would be 284 thousandths. So if you can't find that one of your fractions is a factor of 100, the best option after that would be to draw a benchmark fractions. So let me review real quick. I'm kind of giving you guys 3 options to turn a fraction into a decimal. The first option would be to convert the fraction into a 100 denominator. So for example, 3/5, we turn it into 60 100ths. If your denominator is not a factor of 100, check and see if you can simplify the fraction so that the denominator is a factor of 100. So for the example of 30, we can simplify that back to a 10, and therefore we can use 10 as a factor of 100. If those two options aren't working, I highly recommend just draw the benchmark fraction. That's what we did today in class. We were drawing the 3/5 and we were drawing the 2/3. Just draw that out. That should be in your notes as the page that we did today, and that is a great third option to turn your fraction into a decimal. All right, so that's all today's notes. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to complete your whisk.